extremely admirable in her efforts. But when we think it's just easy for a news resolution to remove bread and alcohol, caffeine and sugar, our last guest of the show, this was part of a very, very strict diet and 7 months of intensive training to pull off a huge new solo woman's world record. 661 lambs in 9 hours. 24-year-old Gore shearer Megan Whitehead achieved last week in making the front page of Farmers Weekly. Megan joins us now here on Shearers Country. Congratulations doesn't even cut it, Megan. How are you feeling after this? Elated wouldn't even cut it. I know you like to underplay things, but please give us some adjectives.
I'm feeling good. I still can't believe that I actually have done 661. It hasn't. I can't believe it. It'll sink in over time, I bet. But no.
What was it
feels like another day.
Sorry, what was it like that moment when they told you that you'd surpassed Emily Welch, the last record holder from 2007? Did you think, right, all I need to do is one more, or did you just want to keep going until you couldn't go no more? What was running through your head?
I just wanted to keep going to get the highest tally I possibly could. But it was such a relief as well. All my hard work paid off because I didn't want to let anyone down. I'd worked my ass off for this and given it my all. And I didn't want to let any of my teammates down. So such relief when I heard that I did 661. I was so happy that I'd made my team proud and myself proud.
Now, this isn't your first taste of this type of thing, putting in a four-stand 8 hours women's record of 2,066 lambs in January this time last year. What was it like being a solo as opposed to having, the other machines running with the ladies behind you?
It was a lot harder, this one, but you're that focused in when I was shearing as a team as well that I didn't even realise anyone around me, and I didn't take in that I was shearing beside anyone because I was that focused, like I was focused this time round. You don't actually realise that there's anyone there because you're just concentrated on my dad who's talking to me the whole day, and I'm that focused on what I'm doing.
And Megan, there's been so much highlight on how strict this diet has been and the training that you've been on. Can you give us an undertaking of sort of how to what such high level it is as an athletic sport?
Cut out caffeine and alcohol and sugar, so pretty restricted to what I could eat. It's a bit like a keto diet, I suppose. But I enjoyed eating that way, I suppose. I felt a lot better for it, and I was shearing a lot more sheep and felt myself progressing and getting a lot fitter.
In terms of any physical strength training outside of actually just being on the handpiece itself, what other type of fitness could you do to maintain that type of endurance over 9 hours?
Yeah, so I was doing 6 nights a week after shearing. I was going to the gym and I was doing a lot of cardio work and a lot of mobility and stretching, which is very important for all your joints and muscles while shearing. Definitely that cardio helped a lot, and I did a little bit of swimming and some Navy box breathing, what the Navy use, and doing that in the sauna too, which really helped with your breathing and helped with my shearing.
What type of length of training and time has this been that you've prepared from that time that you made that decision, right, I'm going to have a go? How long has it been?
It's been 7 months of the 6 nights a week, going to the gym after a full day shearing and changing my diet. It's been near 7 months.
And I assume that Emily will be absolutely rapt for you that you've surpassed her record. What were some of those words of wisdom she gave to you prior?
I never spoke to her until after the record, after I'd done it. But she said She actually did send me a message and she said all the best actually previously, the night before. She said all the best, I'll be there at lunchtime and I'm very happy for you, which was good to hear. And afterwards she gave me a hug and she said, I'm happy it's about time someone took it. So yeah, that's really nice of her.
Yeah, fantastic. What's it like and since you've started your shearing career and the progression of female shearing as a sport here in New Zealand, especially without the ability to travel overseas?
Yeah, so I have done 3 years of travelling over the UK, in Australia, following the shearing seasons, and I didn't get to do that this year, so I was stuck in New Zealand shearing for the whole year. I worked for 6 different contractors, but I still got to travel all through New Zealand. I was South Island and the North Island. Um, yeah.
And so in regards to the rise of females in the sport here in New Zealand, you're feeling pretty confident it has a bright future?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've just got my cousin living with me at the moment. She's from Taranaki and she's a very good shearer, and she's shearing with me for this main shear up until end of March. And I know a lot of very good female shearers now that have just taken off in the past year. It's great to see, I reckon.
It's so encouraging. And we do need to give a bit of a shout out because there's as you said, you didn't want to let your team down. There's a huge amount of preparation behind the scenes. The wonderful Grant brothers gave up their woolshed as well as the sheep involved in all the preparation of the shed. But also it comes under quite close scrutiny, doesn't it, from the World Sheep Shearing Record Society on what you can and can't do. Can you give us an idea of that scrutiny to have that shed preparation exactly right for a record?
Yeah, well, yes, there's so many rules. The whole, we had to get builders in to redo the catching pens because they've got to be a certain size. They've got to hold 22 lambs and all 4s of their feet have to be touching the ground. So we had to remake a pen and we had to relay carpet in it. And then we had the sheep washing, which was 2 days before. It took 6 of them 7 hours to wash all the lambs, each and every single one of them. So Dad had to get a sheep washer, a race made to wash them in, plus about 20 litres of sunlight liquid, which they were washed in. God, the list goes on.
All measuring of portholes and all sorts of things.
Yeah, the portholes have got to be a certain size. The list goes on and on and on. If you don't understand, it's kind of hard to explain if you're not familiar with it all. But Dad's been amazing. He's the one that made this happen. He was the backbone of the whole thing. And I don't know how many sleepless nights he had making phone calls and getting this up and running. He's been pretty amazing.
I'm sure you were thinking of him as you set your into each blow of the 661, the record, in a hot woolshed, I read here as well. Well done. Congratulations on behalf of all of our listeners and viewers. Megan, it's such an incredible achievement that you have and you'll carry with you for life. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us on Sarah's Country. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Do I dare ask if there's some ambitious goal brewing away for the next one, or is it just time to sort of reflect on what you've achieved?
No, definitely would like to take the 8-hour women's solo. That's 510. But my friend Sasha, who was down helping me out the back on the day last Thursday, she's pretty keen on giving that a crack. So I might let her have a go first, I reckon.
So
there's also
sorry, I was just looking there. 76 An hour was your personal best at the 4 stand record. So what would you need to be to sort of crack that next one?
It's only 5. It's an 8-hour day, unlike a 9, and it's 510. So you're looking at over 125 a run. I would like to set it at 600 for eight hours. But yeah, as I said, I think I'll let Sasha have a crack at it first. And even there's the U record as well, which Kerry Jo has, and that's 400 and something. That's even worth looking into as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Megan. Congratulations again. Megan Whitehead taking out the new 9-hour solo female lamb record. Absolutely incredible. And as I said, front page of this week's Farmers Weekly.